is something so real in contrast to what Hollywood is, a very...
Chappelle kicked this saga off by laying down his personal commandment. If you wrong him, even if it was back when Blockbuster was still alive, best believe he'll drag your name through the mud when the time comes. He's not subtle about it either. Chappelle basically admitted he treats beef like fine wine. The older it gets, the sharper it tastes when he finally uncorks it. And this wasn't just empty talk, he framed it as the reason he wasn't itching to spar with Katt Williams. He knew if he went there, it wasn't going to be a playful roast battle.
False in media, whatever, that was just like, wow.
Honestly?
Yeah.
Okay. One black guy, I know what happens when they are going to elevate another.
It was going to be a scorched earth policy. What makes this juicy is the irony. Chappelle, a man who has spent decades dodging cancel culture bullets, flat out admits he is the cancel culture in his own world. If you ever tried to play him even slightly, if you're loving the tea, don't forget to drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. He will eventually treat your career like Wanda's hairline in that infamous interview, torched live with no chance of recovery. The beauty is, fans love him for it. When Chappelle says he'll ruin you, it sounds less like a threat and more like a new HBO special.
I've been in show business since I was 14. They're trying to kill me. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane.
They said your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home. And my guy on the flight in LA, and by the time he got to...
But here's the kicker. He didn't want to engage with Katt directly. Not because he was scared, but because deep down he knew he'd take it too far. The guy's comedic arsenal is so nuclear that he was basically protecting Katt from himself. Imagine being so lethal with words that you have to impose self-defense rules on your own comebacks. That's not humility, that's flexing disguised as restraint. The drama sets the stage. A comedian who can level you with a sentence, and another comedian, Katt, who thrives on firestorms. This wasn't just going to be a comedy beef, it was gearing up to look like comedy's version of Mayweather versus McGregor. Only difference, instead of punches, every blow is a one-liner that can trend for decades.
People think I made a lot of money for Chappelle's show. When I left that show, I never got paid.
There is to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, like when I see that they put every black...
Everyone thought the Wanda Smith roast was just another messy radio moment, two comedians throwing shade, a little too spicy, but nothing more than a few viral clips. But nah, this wasn't harmless banter. This was a powder keg with a loaded weapon waiting outside the comedy club. The same weekend Katt verbally dismantled Wanda live on her own show, her husband allegedly decided punchlines weren't enough. He brought a gun into the equation.
He called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said,
decent people who bring joy to the world, who've been dedicated to it for years, for decades. How dare it?
Yes, you read that right. A gun over jokes about broccoli and baked chicken. Somewhere, Richard Pryor and Bernie Mac were looking down like, man, comedy done lost its damn mind. The Atlanta Comedy Theater became the stage for what could have been the wildest headline in stand-up history. Comedian over steamed vegetables. Security footage even surfaced, showing Wanda and her husband in the parking lot as tensions boiled.
Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million.
No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude.
Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million?
I wasn't walking away from the money.
Yeah.
I was walking away from the circumstances.
Not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million?
They're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times.
According to reports, the man claimed he didn't pull the gun, just dropped it while running. Oh yeah, because nothing says totally innocent, like sprinting through a comedy club parking lot with a firearm bouncing out your waistband like loose change. Let's keep it real. This wasn't just bad optics, it was damn near career suicide for Wanda. Think about it.
Man,
funny stuff every morning, but then he goes rogue. He starts attacking celebrities that are friends of mine, and of all these celebrities, Katt Williams. Well, Katt Williams wasn't having that.
Katt Williams is already a magnet for chaos. The guy's had more mugshots than some rappers. But pulling a weapon on him? That's not defending your wife's honor, that's writing his next hour-long special for him. Katt doesn't need material when the universe literally drops a comedy sketch in his lap. And here's where it gets darker. Katt later revealed that moment felt like a setup, like Wanda's crew actually wanted him gone. This wasn't "we didn't like your punchline" beef. This was "let's erase you from Earth" beef. Imagine living in a world where Chris Rock gets slapped and the whole planet loses its mind. But Katt Williams nearly gets clapped and people shrug it off like it's Tuesday. The double standard is insane. The clip that broke Atlanta radio history wasn't just an interview. It was a full-blown execution, and Wanda Smith was the unlucky volunteer for the firing squad. What was supposed to be a friendly sit-down with Katt Williams turned into the kind of viral roast that makes people forget you had a career before the smoke. And boy did Katt cook. Literally. The man turned her simple broccoli and baked chicken flecks into the joke that swallowed her reputation whole. Wanda thought she was asking a harmless question, but Katt treated it like an alley-oop dunk contest. He broke down broccoli recipes like Gordon Ramsay with a felony record, and when he was done, Wanda wasn't laughing. She was clenching her jaw like a villain plotting revenge. This is where the controversy started snowballing. The internet replayed the clip thousands of times, not because of Tiffany Haddish discourse, but because watching Wanda try to clap back and fail was comedy gold. She tried to jab at Katt's hair. He flipped it into a flex. She brought up his jail time. He turned it into a badge of honor. She tried calling him Lil Mama. He flipped it into Lil Mama's baby daddy. Every insult she threw came back with interest, like she was paying roast debt with 200% APR. And here's the cruel twist. People started whispering that Katt didn't just roast Wanda. He ended her. A radio veteran with decades in the game suddenly found herself defined by a single moment of being roasted into oblivion. It's like getting crossed over in the NBA so bad your whole career becomes a meme. People weren't saying Wanda Smith, legendary host. They were saying Wanda Smith, the lady who got destroyed by Katt Williams. Now, with Wanda's passing, fans are rewriting history, blaming Katt for ruining her life. They're acting like this one roast single-handedly derailed her decades of work. But let's be honest, Wanda fired the first shot. She came in trying to sun Katt on her own show, not realizing she was standing in the wrong comedy weight class. That's like an amateur boxer calling out Mike Tyson. You don't win. You get turned into highlight reel footage. When the smoke started choking the room after Katt Williams torched Wanda Smith, people expected Dave Chappelle to join the mob, wag his finger, and play Mr. Morality. But Dave, nah. Chappelle pulled up like the cool uncle at a family fight, smirking, sipping his cigarette, and saying, "Y'all mad at Katt? For what? Doing what comedians do?" It wasn't just defense, it was war. Chappelle basically stood on stage, pointed at cancel culture, and told them to kiss his ashtray. See, this wasn't just about Wanda Smith anymore. This was about the death of comedy itself. Every time someone gets roasted too hard, the internet runs to HR crying for disciplinary action like they just got slapped by Will Smith on Oscar night. But Chappelle, he's the last samurai in the fight for free speech. He looked at Katt's brutal Wanda roast and didn't see cruelty. He saw craftsmanship. He saw a man with a blade so sharp he could cut a tomato in midair. He saw comedy in its rawest, meanest, purest form. And he wasn't about to let Twitter mobs rewrite the rulebook. And let's be real, Chappelle isn't just defending Katt. He's defending himself. If Katt goes down for roasting Wanda, then Chappelle's own catalog is next in line for execution. You can't tell the man who built Killing Them Softly and Stick Stones that roasts are too mean. That's like telling Mike Tyson punching people in the face is problematic. That's the whole damn job description. The twist here? Chappelle didn't just protect Katt, he dragged Wanda too. He basically told the world, look, if you come at a comic, don't cry when you get cooked. This is gladiator sport. You enter the cage, you might leave without an arm. Chappelle was reminding everyone of the ancient comedy law. Hecklers, instigators, or cocky radio hosts. Nobody's safe. When Katt went scorched earth in that interview, Wanda wasn't the only one who took damage. Tiffany Haddish somehow got dragged into the inferno. Katt didn't just question her talent, he shredded her resume like it was junk mail. He basically told the world, Tiffany ain't funny, she's just the industry's pet project. And just like that, Haddish went from Hollywood's golden child to the comedy community's punching bag. Here's where the drama hit Mach 5. The comedy world split in two. On one side, you had the purists, the Katt Williams disciples who think real comedians should bleed on stage and earn their stripes in smoky clubs, not red carpets. To them, Tiffany was a fast food comic, flashy, overhyped, and handed a career on a silver platter. On the other side, you had the Hollywood machine rolling Tiffany out as the new queen of funny, with Kevin Hart waving the pom-poms and saying Katt was just bitter. It turned into a civil war with Tiffany as the prize and Katt as the rebel leader spitting Molotov cocktails. But here's the cheeky twist. Tiffany Haddish didn't even roast back. She stayed quiet. While Twitter had gladiator battles in her honor, Tiffany just kept showing up at award shows, smiling, taking pictures, and letting the storm rage on. And you know what? That silence made people even angrier. Fans were screaming, "Defend yourself!" But Tiffany played it cool, maybe too cool, because the longer she stayed quiet, the more Katt's words felt like gospel. It was like watching someone get roasted at lunch and then calmly finish their sandwich. Sure, it looks unbothered, but deep down you know that burns. And the fallout, ooh, it was brutal. Suddenly every Tiffany performance was under a microscope. Every joke, every punchline. People weren't just laughing anymore, they were fact-checking. Was she funny, or was Katt right? Comedy fans turned into detectives, rewinding Netflix specials like they were Zapruder films searching for the missing laughs. If the radio roast was the main event, then the parking lot showdown was the blooper reel. Hours after Katt reduced Wanda Smith to ash on live radio, the story took a left turn straight into WWE territory. Wanda's husband, Frank, apparently decided he wasn't going to let his wife's honor stay in the dirt. So what did he do? He confronted Katt outside a comedy club, ready to square up. The man came in hot, puffed chest, adrenaline pumping, like a knight defending his queen. Except this wasn't Game of Thrones, it was a viral circus waiting to happen. Katt, being Katt, didn't swing. He didn't throw hands. Instead, he pulled out the deadliest weapon in his arsenal: humiliation. Instead of fighting, Katt ran. Yep, ran. And let's be clear, this wasn't some scared sprint. It was comedy in motion. The image of a 5'5" comedian with permed hair bolting through a parking lot while Wanda's husband chased him was straight out of a sitcom. Katt didn't need fists. He let the internet do the punching. And when the clip went viral, guess who looked worse? Not Katt. The bigger legacy here? Wanda's death turned her into a cautionary tale. Some say she represents the cost of going viral the wrong way. Others say she's proof that comedy culture is too cruel, too unforgiving. Either way, her name is etched in internet lore, not as a radio host, not as a personality, but as the woman roasted so hard it became her permanent headline. The Wanda Smith versus. Katt Williams saga isn't just some petty roast beef from 2018. It's a warning shot for the future of comedy. Think about it. One radio interview, one roast gone viral, and suddenly, a comedian's entire legacy is judged like they just started World War III with a microphone. Wanda's career never recovered, and after her passing, people twisted the narrative to make Katt look like the villain who destroyed her life with broccoli jokes. Broccoli. Imagine getting turned into a cultural villain over vegetables. This is where Dave Chappelle's defense of Katt hits hard. Comedy used to be a safe zone for truth-telling, roasting, and pushing limits. Now, every joke is evidence. Every clapback is a potential career-ending scandal waiting to be dug up 5, 10, 15 years later. The internet doesn't let jokes die. It embalms them, keeps them preserved, and then drags them back into the spotlight whenever the audience needs a new villain. And that's the terrifying part. In today's culture, going viral is like playing Russian roulette. One clip can make you a legend, or it can put your career in a coffin. Wanda didn't survive the fallout. Katt did, but he's still paying for it. Years later, at Wanda's funeral, people are treating him like the ghostwriter of her obituary. That's how unforgiving the internet is. But here's the kicker. Audiences claim they love raw, unfiltered comedy, yet they're the same ones turning punchlines into lawsuits. They want comedians to say it like it is, but the second a joke stings too hard, it's cancellation time. So the real question is, are we killing comedy with our obsession with moral policing? Because if roasting someone is a crime, then every comedian is a felon. At the end of the day, the Wanda Katt saga proves that the future of comedy isn't just about jokes, it's about survival. Do you go all in, risk being canceled, or play it safe and lose your edge? Wanda's downfall became a cautionary tale. Katt's survival turned him into a battle-scarred veteran of cancel culture. And the rest of comedy, it's standing at the edge of the stage, mic in hand, wondering, am I about to make history, or am I about to make headlines for all the wrong reasons? Comedy has always been about timing, but now it's also about surviving the rewind button.